action figure enthusiasts out there. JC here with another TNINews video. Now we've got a lot to cover today, so let's hop right into it. And first thing, I just want to let you guys know that we are running a new contest over on Toy News International. It is one of our forum contests where you post in certain areas on the forums, you'll be entered into a drawing, and we're going to be giving away $100 store credit to either Big Bad Toy Store or Megalopolis Toys. It's your choice. If you end up winning the drawing, you can pick which one you want to use it at. But again, we are giving away $100 store credit. I will put a link to the full details on that. And again, basically you just have to register on the TNI message boards, and then every time you make a contributing post, you'll be entered into a drawing. Okay, now getting into the news, I first just wanted to touch upon a story I talked about actually two different times in previous news videos. So Storm Collectibles, they made on Friday a last minute announcement for their New York Comic Con exclusives. So the Chun-Li figure, the upcoming Chun-Li Arcade Edition battle costume figure, is going to be released as a New York Comic Con figure. So I talked about the figure itself, I think 2 news videos ago, and then I talked about the other New York Comic Con Mortal Kombat figures that Storm Collectibles is going to be doing, the Rain and Smoke figure, in the last news video. But at the last minute, they also announced that this one was going to be offered at New York Comic Con. So you're going to get multiple heads with this one, multiple pairs of hands, and then an effect piece to mimic her powers where she's doing the little tornado from her hands. So that's kind of cool. And again, that figure will be released as a New York Comic Con exclusive. And New York Comic Con takes place at the beginning of October, starting October 4th. We will be providing you guys full coverage of that event. So, you know, if you're not attending the convention yourself, then be sure to check out the websites for coverage of everything, including Hasbro's Marvel Legends and other products that they'll be showing off. I don't think Hasbro will have an actual presence at New York Comic Con this year, but they will be having special media events where they show off new product. Also, Storm Collectibles will be doing bloody versions of Smoke, Rain, and Ermac. All 3 of those figures are going to be offered as Big Bad Toy Store exclusives and are currently up for pre-order. Okay, and then just today, Bossfight Studio announced the next figure that they're doing for their 4-inch Bucky OHare line. So they're going to be doing Bruiser, the Berserker Baboon, and this looks like it's going to be a deluxe figure. We don't have a lot of details. They just released this, basically a digital mock-up of the figure, and you can see in that it's listing it as a deluxe figure. I'm guessing because he's a bigger character, and more details on this figure as well as images should be coming soon. But if you've been collecting the 4-inch Bucky OHare line from Bossfight, then this is one you'll probably be excited about. Okay, and then moving on to the Aquaman movie front, I've got a couple bits of information from Mattel to share with you guys. First of all, with their DC Multiverse line, the 6-inch line, it looks like Amazon is going to be getting an exclusive figure for the Aquaman movie, and it's Volko, and he is going to be released on December 14th. The figure is currently up for pre-order. The figure is going to come with a sword and then some kind of map or scroll, something I'm sure plays a part in the movie. That looks like is the only thing the figure is actually going to include is the sword and that scroll piece. In the description, it actually makes a mention of something for the Trench Warrior Build-A-Figure plus alternate head, which I don't think is actually included with the figure. So I think all you're getting with the actual figure is just the sword and that whatever that scroll piece. And I don't really know what that is. Looks like some kind of, Atlantean map or something. So again, once we see the movie, I'm sure whatever that is will make a lot more sense. But that figure, which again is part of the 6-inch Multiverse line, will be released on December 14th. And I'll put a link to the pre-order in the video description. And then also listed up on Amazon. Now, these aren't listed as Amazon exclusives, and these are for the basic 6-inch toy line, so this isn't the Multiverse. But we're getting, looks like creature packs. So we're getting one with Aquaman and a Shark Warrior, which is said to be about 18 inches long. And then a second one with Volko and a hammerhead shark. Now, again, these are the basic figures, so even though they're listed as 6-inch figures, they are a little bit shorter than Multiverse figures, plus the articulation and paint applications aren't quite as good. Now, the thing about these, though, is even, if you don't really care about the figures, the sharks themselves probably will work with the Multiverse figures. So if you want something cool for your Aquaman figure to ride on, then these might be worth checking out. Now the Aquaman set is going to cost $30, and then the other one is only going to cost $19. I think it's because the shark with the Aquaman is bigger. It looks like a more detailed and bigger shark than the one that comes with the Volko figure. So, but again, you know, even if you're not into the basic figures, this looks like something cool you might want to check out, just so you can give your Multiverse figure something cool to ride. Okay, and on the NECA Toys front, they were at attendance at a special launch party for the new Predator movie late last week. The movie opened in theaters this weekend. Now, I haven't seen the movie myself, but a couple of reviews I read didn't really paint a very good picture of it. I can't say from the trailers I was terribly excited either, so I'll probably wait for it to come out on home release before I actually watch the movie. But nevertheless, NECA was in attendance at this launch event, and they showed off their Assassin Predator. So this was their really large Predator figure that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con, but at Comic-Con it was just the unpainted prototype. So now we're getting a look at the figure with the paint applications applied. So it definitely looks pretty good and everything. Again, I haven't seen the movie, so I've only seen the trailers, but from what I've seen, you know, this definitely looks pretty good. And then the second new figure that they showed off was, I believe this is a variant version or a repaint version of their Ultimate Predator figure. So this one's done with to look like, you know, with the camo coloring, you know, like the Predator C with the infrared and everything. So I don't have specific details. You can see one of the images that NECA posted from the event on their social media. You can make out on the shelf tag there that it looks like the figure is going to be released at Target, FYE, and then maybe one other place, which I can't make out. Again, NECA hasn't released any official details yet on the figure. As soon as they do, we'll be sure to let you guys know on Toy News International. But, you know, definitely looks like a cool kind of variant figure. I don't know what the Reebok shoe has to do with it. If anything, my guess is Reebok is just doing some kind of Predator tie-in with their shoes, and they're just posed them together. But again, you know, as we learn more details, we will be sure to pass those on to you. On the DC Collectible front, I just wanted to let you guys know that those 6-inch Justice League animated series figures are now currently available for pre-order on the DC Universe streaming service. So you do have to join the DC Universe streaming service in order to be able to purchase these figures. You can't pre-order them unless you already belong to the service. But assuming you do, then you can pre-order the figures either as individuals, and they cost $28 individually, or you can buy the entire set, which will cost $194. And then the way they're shipping, the way they're breaking down the shipping is starting on September 15th. So basically, they should be starting to ship now. The first batch of figures are Batman, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl. And then in October, they're going to start shipping the Aquaman and Wonder Woman figure. And then finally in November, they're going to ship Flash and Superman. Now these figures are pretty basic. There does not appear to be any kind of accessories with the figures or anything, but they will fit in nicely with your Batman the Animated Series figures. And if you're just a fan of the Justice League Animated Series, then you may want to check these out. But again, you do have to join the DC Universe streaming service. There's still been no indication of whether DC Collectibles will end up releasing these figures in any way outside of the streaming service. So, you know, I guess we have to go with what they're telling us now, and that you do have to join the streaming service in order to get these. And like I said, the first batch of figures should start shipping now, and I will put a link to the pre-order page if you want to check that out in the video description below. Also today, DC Collectibles released official solicitation information for 4 of their new upcoming 6-inch Batman the Animated Series figures. So we'd seen all 4 figures at San Diego Comic-Con, and these figures are slated for release in May. They'll hit comic and specialty shops in May. And so we've got official images for Grey Ghost, and he's going to stand 6.24 inches tall. The Scarecrow figure, which is going to stand 6.5 inches tall. Hardak, which will stand 6.25, and Two-Face. Now, the figures are going to come with various accessories. So Grey Ghost is going to come with a movie poster, a Grey Ghost movie poster, and a little Blu-ray, it looks like, and then a pistol and alternate hands, one that's holding a pencil for autographs, and a little remote control car. And then with the Hardak figure, the robot Batman, he's going to come with an alternate head, which has the mask, the Batman mask, completely ripped off. And you can see it'll attach on the back there. And then he's coming with a sword and multiple pairs of hands. The Scarecrow figure is going to come with multiple pairs of hands, his weapon, and then he comes with an unmasked head sculpt as well. And then finally with Two-Face, he's going to come with a machine gun, a stick of dynamite, and an alternate set of hands. And again, those figures are going to be released in May. Okay, and then the final thing I wanted to share with you guys is news on some new Disney Toybox figures. So this news actually came to light a couple weeks ago, but I forgot to mention it in the last news video. So if you collect these, or if you're familiar with these are the figures that Disney does. They're Disney store exclusives, so you can only buy them at the Disney stores or on the Disney shop websites. And they do them for Star Wars, Marvel, and their own Disney properties as well. The figures are loosely based on the Disney Infinity game, and like with the Marvel and Star Wars, they're based on movie costumes primarily. The basic designs are from the movies more than the comics usually. But with the two newest figures to hit are the Han Solo and Chewbacca figures for the Star Wars line. And those are hitting store shelves now. But with those, there was a new catalog showing off upcoming figures. So the thing to note here is it looks like they're branching off on this line. And this line, these figures stand between 4 and 5 inches generally. And they are articulated and everything. I've done a number of reviews on them, the Marvel and Star Wars figures and everything. But it looks like they're going to be branching out into vehicles. Now, I don't have any specific details, and it's really kind of hard to tell from these images. I'm guessing the vehicles aren't really in scale with the figures, meaning that you can put the figures in the vehicles. But basically you can probably pose the vehicles next to the figures. So for Star Wars, we're getting the Millennium Falcon with a reissue of the Han Solo and Chewbacca. So the figures themselves look like the same ones that are hitting store shelves now. It's just they'll be included with the vehicle. And again, I don't think you can put the figures in the Millennium Falcon. I don't think it's going to be to scale. I could be wrong, but I don't think they will be. And then they're also doing a TIE Fighter with a TIE Fighter pilot. So that one's pretty cool. And again, my guess is you probably cannot put the figure inside the cockpit, but I won't say for sure. I don't have any kind of pricing information on these or anything. So, again, until they actually start hitting shelves, we really just have these catalog scans, and that's pretty much all we have to go by. And then for new figures for Star Wars, they showed off in the catalog their Yoda figure. We'd seen a blacked out image of Yoda previously, so we knew he was coming, but now we're getting an actual look at him. And again, you also have the Han Solo and Chewbacca figures, which are hitting shelves now. For Marvel, we're getting a look at their Thanos figure. So we had seen blacked out images of Thanos before, but now we're getting a look at the actual Thanos figure. And then for vehicles, they're doing Spider-Man with a buggy. So the Spider-Man figure looks like is a comic book based figure. They had done the Homecoming Spider-Man previously, but now we're getting what looks like a comic book based Spider-Man. Now with this one, the figure maybe will fit in the buggy. I'm not sure. Looks like that might fit there in that little cockpit area, but again, I can't say 100%. And then for blacked out, also there's a Gray Hulk. There's a Gray Hulk coming, and then there's a 2-pack with a Hulkbuster, Iron Man versus the Hulk. So also it looks like they're branching out into 2-packs. And then finally, for blacked out images for Marvel, we're getting a look at what I'm pretty sure is a Venom figure. And then Spider-Man, I believe the other one is Spider-Man, and likely the same Spider-Man figure that we're seeing coming with the buggy. So like with the Star Wars, where we had Han Solo and Chewbacca re-released with the Millennium Falcon, also on single card, I think they're going to be doing the same thing with the Spider-Man figure. And then for just their basic Disney line, they're doing figures based on Wreck-It Ralph and Big Hero 6. Okay, so that's it for today's news. Again, please be sure to check out the contest that we have going on this week on Toy News International. If you want to try and win $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store or Megalopolis Toys, I will put a link to the details for that contest in the video description below. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything we talked about today. Just leave a comment in the comments section. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And of course, you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to all those in the video description as well. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.